me the replays?
Yeah, it's on the Discord as well, but I'll download it and send it to you.
I'll just grab it from Discord.
Okay, right. That is good. And then I'm gonna jump to 29:55 and then wait for you. How do you feel about GVK, by the way, before we like start the cast? Because I've often thought it was a bit of a disadvantage, but
I don't know how bad it really is, but yeah, I feel like Connect is at the advantage.
I mean, not only have we got blast drones and whatever, but like what's really impactful, I think, is just that carrier is really, really good at defending, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now, I mean, once you get up to hypersonic missile barrage, if that ever happens for some reason, you should win every time, I think.
Yeah.
Because it is just some, like...
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say...
really just due to the impact of that ability, because like, it's not like it's better than the Connect carrier in close combat either.
Yeah, it's just that, like, I think... I think, like...
one thing they do have going...
Oh, no, you go ahead.
25 armored star... Oh, sorry. The one thing they've got going for them is they resist assault rails much better. And assault ships have virtually no DPS.
That's true. That's true. Because, yeah, it's the Galzian carrier has 20 and Conf has 15, right? I don't know, it's like, if you get to the hypersonic missile barrage, I think that the Galzian carrier, because you have power 5, is also just more valuable. But I'm not sure, because, like, if Conf has enough Conf Siege... Yeah. If Conf player has, like, got enough Conf Siege, I think he might win anyway, just because, like, his unit position is just so much better. Although you are right, like, the missiles for the Conf carrier are, like, this very obvious ability that you have, that you can use all the time. But, you know, Galzian doesn't get anything like that until they reach power 5.
Yeah.
Carrier and voice is what sold me on Galzian over Conf. I will admit, Conf voice, not the best. Galzian voice, much better.
Yeah, dude. Galzian voice is definitely better.
So are you, in position?
Still loading.
By the way, fun fact, when co-casting with someone whose PC is not as powerful as yours actually will get ahead slightly. Because, like, the game runs faster when it's a replay. If it has, like, a more powerful CPU.
Ooh.
It's not really very impactful, but I've noticed it in some games that I've co-cast with Discara. That, like, when we get to the end of the game, I seem to be watching, like, I'm hearing his reactions, like, 2 seconds late or something. Which is not very impactful, you know, but it's still kind of an interesting effect. Homeworld 3, okay, it better have the best co-casting tools, because we're gonna go mega tryhard on Homeworld 3. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I haven't written that message to Tina yet. What a choke. I'll do that right after this then. Yeah, Roby knows. He agrees.
Alright, 29:55.
Okay. Alrighty, then we'll go in 3, 2, 1, go. Hey everybody, welcome back to Jaraci Cup 7, casting now the first semifinals match that was played. This is going to be between myself, Bozocow, and MarchWaden, who's also in the chat. Say hi to the people.
Hello?
No, I said say hi to the people, not hello. Anyway,
Hi, people?
So it's going to be Galzian versus Conf here. MarchWaden had to pick first. I was thinking about it. I was considering going Coalition, but I think my Coalition is not strong enough. I'm going to match it with Galzian instead. And this will be a fun match to watch. We just played it earlier today, so obviously it's fresh in my minds, but we're going to do our best to avoid spoiling it for you lot. MarchWaden here, going for ref mode first on this first map. It's Galzian territories. I guess we'll talk about the pick ban real quick if we can. I banned Torrent Crater because I feel like it's generally kind of a bit of a bad map for Galzian to be fighting against Conf on. MarchWaden banned the Boneyard. He picked this map, Galzian Territories. We talked about it a bit in the last cast, why. I picked Firebase in the Shallows, he picked College Teeth, and I picked Tight End Passage to round it off. What do you think about the pick ban? Do you think anyone has some particular advantage in the maps, or is it pretty much even?
Sorry, which one did I ban again?
You banned Boneyard, right? Because you don't want that bad spawn.
Uneven spawn, yeah.
I mean, the number of rail rushes that I've done these days, you have to ban Boneyard against me, because if I get that spawn, you already know what I'm going to do, right? So... I think that was a very...
It's just not fun.
Yeah. But I was trying to ban Torrent Crater, actually, for an interesting reason. It was because, like... You know, if you go for ref mode first, right? And then I push you off your second base, you actually can go just onto the third, and it's almost like I haven't done any damage to you, right? So I was really worried, like, if I want to play this series aggressively, which I probably do I have to, like, ban this from him? That's what I thought. This is gonna be Rail Rush again, by the way, obviously. What else would Bozo do? I go for Rail Fab, I think, faster than most people do, but that tends to leave me at a bit of a skimmer disadvantage, so it's a little bit of a risky game that I play. Actually, I'd love to hear your thoughts on, like, what I'm doing, because obviously I hit 2 PC a lot slower by doing this, right?
Yeah. Well, you don't have 2 PC, and you don't have as many skimmers as you otherwise would, so it's easier for me to defend against it.
Yeah.
I still am going to lose a lot of skimmers, but it doesn't really matter.
Right, because as long as you can... You don't even really have to, like, trade evenly, because if you have more guys being produced, obviously you're going to reach parity with me pretty fast. And ref mode being done obviously means you got more money than me right now as well. So if I don't get damage done, it's kind of going to be, you know, my loss, right? Yeah, I think, as I recall, I go for actually a heavy railgun now, before getting, like, a PC, and that's probably a big mistake. Because I think I'm going to need to match these skimmer numbers, right? And your PC is halfway done. I had the money to queue it up here if I wanted to, but I didn't go for it, so... That's probably a mistake for me. Oh, and the PC is getting too close as well. It really needs to back away when that heavy rail pops out. But this is probably okay. The thing is, the con of carrier has so much, like, health, just because all carriers have so much health, that if I'm not actually trading with you, you can just kind of bank up a big skimmer count in the backline and then rush out and kill me, right? So I do have my second PC started now, but you're going to have the jump on me by about, like, 60 seconds, which is, you know, that's almost 6 sand skimmers as well. Not to mention, mine won't be frontline when it comes out either. I see Power 1 on the way as well. That's probably very reasonable. Do you reckon, though, I could have actually gotten more DPS by getting the Assault Rail involved also? But... I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
there was no way I was going to kill this carrier, right? So we're going to be in this position either way.
Yeah.
And then actually this heavy rail is going to get chased down as well. I was quite sad about this. That heavy rail surviving would have been pretty big for me, I think. But it just, you know, bad positioning, it's going to go down. But so my thoughts here was like, I can win the fight if you take me on like this hill. Over the missiles, let's see where they land. No, it's not going to hit much. So I was like, I can take this fight.
We both just started armor, you're just going to complete first.
Yeah, like during the fight as well, which is really good for me. So my thought was like, okay, I can take this fight if I'm on the hill, and then if the carrier keeps pushing out, I just want to like move around and then attack his bases, right? And try and like kill your eco. But you'll see like what happened to me. I was quite surprised by this. I couldn't leave my assault rails, and then you had more range as well, so I had to make like a wider arc, and I just couldn't really get around you. So that was really interesting to see. Second PC is out for me now, finally. I'm making actually another assault rail though, because I think I need more of them. But you see what I'm talking about now? I'm like trying to get up onto your bases, but you had enough time to get these skims. You have high ground as well. Oh, and this assault rail just thrown away for nothing.
Those were actually skims that I just hadn't rallied.
Oh.
After they...
Laziness wins the day, right?
Yeah.
No one's got any more skimmer techs here, but you do have power 2 on the way. And you gotta imagine that's gonna be nice, allowing that close combat weapons and missile system to be on. Well, you also have healing and mobility support. It's obviously gotta feel good. And you can see I can't push up onto those bases. I'm just totally held off. And now we're starting to get into a situation where, you know, my opponent is basically just always gonna have more money than me from this point on. Because he's on 2 base, I'm on 1, right? So this is probably not going to be bueno. And that carrier at half health, but like it doesn't matter, does it? Like if I don't have a way of hurting it now, it's like all that damage is basically wasted. I also love the base runners, by the way. That was a very good play. Because I mean, what am I going to do? Even if I stabilize your push, you still are winning. So this is a very smart play overall, I would say. And armor 2 on the way for you as well. Now you definitely have the majority at this point, 11 to like 8. So at this point you can take the skimmer fight as well if you want it. It looks like I think I can take it, but I'm wrong about that. And another heavy rail spawning here, that's not going to do me many favors. And that con of carry is just going to get closer and closer, and once it reaches the main base, we pretty much should have lost that game, right? So, like from this position, unless you make a terrible mistake, I really don't know how I can like come back. Oh, cruise missile killed the heavy rail too. Nicely done. Artifact comes out too. Second one's on the way as well. And that carrier power is really, like, especially good for you too, right? Because you haven't even teched, yeah? So you're just, like, totally gonna try to kill me using this carrier. I think that's so interesting, though, because we saw this against Cookies as well. You basically played Galzian territories without getting any tech. Like, any unit tech.
Yeah, which is weird because it's an eco map, you don't go tech.
Yeah, right? Like, what? But there it is. I mean, it's working for you here. I think, like so much of GVC especially is like, yeah, if the Galzian player comes up without tech, he automatically loses. So it's definitely been, like, hammered into my head, like, you must have tech, you know? But I'm starting to see that's maybe not true. Damage upgrade advantage goes to you as well. Not to mention you have the numbers here. So even though you're under my carrier, I think you can take this fight just fine. Another artifact picked up by you, that's always going to be nice, but the con of carrier is on the doorstep now. And this is where you would expect the Galzian player to start really feeling the pain here. Close combat weapons turned up on a max, that heavy rail is going to go down. I just decided to go for backstab. I was going to clear out this base runner with those skims and just go for like the eco. Maybe I can get something done here, but it's probably not going to happen. I should also cancel this heavy rail because then maybe I can get like power 2 at least, but I mean, it's probably academic. I think you just have so much more power than me that I'm never going to win the DPS war.
Yeah, that's 3 missiles versus 1.
Yeah, no quick drop either, so that was a little bit messy of me.
And you've got range systems to sort of repair right now. So.
Oh yeah. Hopefully I noticed that really quick. I cleared out one base runner, but there's just another. I'm gonna kill salvagers. We've got that, but it doesn't really seem to matter, does it? I do like that she sent the skims back now, though, because obviously, you know, they're not gonna do anything here. The con of carrier is gonna take it on its own if it's gonna win. I do have healing powered up now, but 3 power and weapons versus 1, you know, you don't win those trades. Oh, and you've got power 3 on the way, too.
20 armor, not 25.
Yeah, just 20. I think in vanilla it has 25, but... Yep, I GG'd there. That's a little BM. I should have just let you kill me. But there goes game 1. Going, I'd say, like, pretty comfortably in your hands, like, just like that last game against Cookies, right? You played eco, you know? You set up your opponent, hey, this is what you've got to do, and then you just sort of sat there, and I couldn't get the damage, and you just won based on having the skimmer numbers. So that was well done. Let me load up game 2 here.
Game 2.
Firebase Krill. And picking this map, I think I was thinking, it's not a bad map for aggro, but it's not the Boneyard, right? But it's also not a bad map for eco, so I had a bit of like flex potential here, I thought. And I was definitely going to go with Salt Chips as we entered this map. I'm at 2955, by the way, so tell me once you get there. By the way, you'll have to watch my my quick drop here, because like I managed to get...
Anime.
Oh, nice. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. I managed to actually have like, I think 1 CU and 1 RU left in the bank when I got the tech. Which was crazy because I had sort of forgotten how to do it. I wasn't sure if I knew still. I was like making this build up on the fly, but I did it right, so it was all okay. I quick drops for 1 RU there. That's pretty try hard. Let's see, and what is your tech going to be meanwhile? You all started getting Sandskimmer Fab first, but Salvagers are coming out, so tech is probably going to be a bit delayed. Assault Ship Fab on the queue for me now. Obviously that does mean I have less Salvagers giving eco, so the hope is that I'm able to use those Assault Ships to actually do some damage. I think maybe moving my PC out is a bit of a mistake, though. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, because obviously if I go for really fast Assault Ships like that, I'm going to be delayed on like Sandskimmer count, so I could potentially find myself in a meat grinder scenario where, you know, you've got Sandskimmers, yeah, right, like you just kill my Sandskimmers right as they pop out, and then I get Assault Ships, but you have like 10 Sandskimmers and they can still kill them. So yeah, I think that was maybe a mistake, but I don't know. I mean, seems to go a bit unpunished. I see a ping over there, so I'm gonna go investigate. But you didn't move like your PC with the skims out just yet, so I'm feeling pretty okay about this. Assault Ship Fab about 9 seconds away, but yours has started as well, so only about 40 seconds on that. So it's kind of like a half-a-minute window that I have to like get damage done with the Assault Ships. One of them started immediately. I'm gonna flip a guy onto RUs, but I still only have 5 Salvagers, so we're not fully saturated, but I'm gonna try to get up to that armor upgrade as fast as I can, because obviously it's pretty impactful against skims, but this is what I was talking about. You're all up on my PC right now, so it's a little bit difficult to take this fight. And we may lose an Assault Ship here. It's the fake hill of Firebase Cruel strikes once again. People getting line of sight through that hill just triggers me, but, you know, nothing we can do about it. This is actually surprisingly okay, though, because I still don't have Armor 1, but this Assault Ship is not getting killed here. He finally goes down, but he's traded pretty efficiently. And Assault Ship Fab just now finishing for you, but you're actually not building them yet.
Yeah, don't have the money.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess you do now, but...
Fleet capacity.
Oh, fleet capacity! Oh, shoot. You'll have that.
No, that's not why I didn't have it. He was just floating, but I had no resources. I don't know.
Well, the fleet capacity that you see on the top right is always mine, because it's from my perspective.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I probably did that fleet capacity by then.
Them janky DOK replays, you know what I'm saying? Armored Unit Defense is 1 coming out for me now as well. And then here's where things get interesting. So your first armor unit popped out here, right? And then I was thinking like, oh, well, I've won the game, right? Because I thought I could kill this. Maybe this is my mistake. I turned back to shoot at the skims, thinking that I actually was in cover, but I wasn't. Maybe I misplayed this then, but I thought like I was gonna just win this trade easily, but then things did not go as I expected. Yeah, I was really perplexed because
you wasted time turning the assault ships to shoot at different things.
Yeah, so I should have just focused on the assault ship.
My assault ship to come out.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it was just miss what do you call it, like miss micro here. I kind of felt in the game that I was like unsure of the unit matchup. That's what caused this, but maybe I just microed it wrong. Definitely I was surprised though, because I had armor 1 and you didn't have anything yet, but I mean at this point I knew the game was certainly over. Assault Ship battle just did not go my way, and that is going to be game. If that PC dies, like, there's really no way for the Galcian player to come back from this. And so game 2 again, in pretty easy fashion. I mean, that was only a 4-minute game, just goes into your hands. I'm dishonoring my family, MarchWaden. Galcian's still OP? How do you mean, Roby? They just lost. But yes, you're right, I must redeem myself, because now, with the scoreline being 2-0, if you win any more games, you win the series and move up to the finals without me. Which would be a real shame. I'm Bozocow, I'm the best player in the world, no one can fight me. Game 3 gonna be on the shallows. And now I actually picked this one. Honestly, I couldn't tell you why, though. I'll pause at 20:55 again, tell me when you get there. But, underpowered assault ships always die to overpowered assault ships. Anyway, so this game on the shallows, I think I picked it because I wanted to, like, not go aggro or something, but I wasn't exactly... I can't exactly remember, like, what I was thinking. Tell me when you're at the spot, by the way.
I am ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Shallows, obviously, you know this map. You can't really... I shouldn't say that. You can do early aggro, but it's quite risky. Like, the chances of you not managing to get the damage done and then losing the game because your opponent just has more eco is very, very high. I think both of us, you would expect, would go ref mode first on this map, but we'll have to see. I don't actually know what you do, so... I'm definitely going ref mode first, though. That's the play for me. No base runner to retire, though. I want to keep this guy. I see that you retired yours. And so if you're going ref mode, that will get you yours a little bit faster, but I will have the ability to go for artifacts early. Oh, and there's a scouting element too, I guess, but like... I don't know. Like I said, you're not really going to get rushed on the shallows very often, so I think the scouting element is pretty... Like, it's less important in this matchup than it would be on normal maps, right?
Yeah. You know, you can... There's not much that you can... Like, there's not much that you need to scatter or you're live to, right?
In fact, look at the position of my scanner. You can tell that one's not one that checks like tech, right? I just wanted to see if there were units there. Because, like, I was so confident you would just go ref mode first, I just didn't even bother scouting it. There are some players who will go aggro on this map, though. Have you ever heard of, like, Sparrow, for example?
No. No, I haven't heard that.
He doesn't play anymore, really, but Sparrow was, like, the only build he would ever do was rail rushing. He would do 2 PC rail rushes. And, like, what was crazy about him was that he was such a one-trick pony, right? But he would still win. Like, you knew exactly what he was going to do, and he would beat you anyway. But yeah, he would even rail rush on the shallows. I thought it was crazy, but... And by the way, we are exercising a bit of greed here. Salvager's being produced before Skimmer Fab starts. And I think it's the same for you. In fact, your Skimmer Fab is even later than mine, so... You got even more greedy than I did. That's quite impressive.
No. Yeah, and it's with the base runner CUs.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously 4 cells first. That does put your eco at a slight advantage over mine. And you can see it here as well, it's visible. I have no guys on RUs on that second base now. One of them just popped out. Oh, the second one just popped out as well. But you get what I mean. You've already been mining RUs this whole time, so... And then I'm going to want to get this extraction out if I can. Because I sense, yeah, it seems to be ref mode for sure, so I can go ahead and try and get this base runner to extract. And then Assault Ship Fab coming out immediately for me, and my plan was to go for air here. Second PC, though, first from MarchWaden. And PC before tech, that's also greedy, but, like, it's safe in this case, because he is correct in the assumption that I'm not going to pressure him yet. Or you are correct, because that's you.
Mm.
This is a bit of a messy fight, I remember. I definitely misplayed this one as well. Don't know if you can blame Fat Fingers for this. It was just a bad idea. I popped the base runner heal right now because I was thinking, well, I can't get the high ground, so I'll use the heal to win this fight. But then I don't have it for later Sand Skimmer trades, and I've already given you this high ground, so it doesn't seem likely that I'll be able to win this. And then coming back in with the one skim, with the other one not in tow, that was quite messy. Oh, do I even get one? No. So definitely, you're coming out ahead in these early skimmer trades. Oh, but you have power 1. What the heck? I only just noticed that.
Yeah, I did grab that.
Yeah. So what was the idea with getting power 1 there? Did you just were you just worried that because you didn't have vision, maybe something was going to happen to you?
Hmm.
Base runner, by the way, will surely be denied here, but I think I have the
more stand
DPS.
skimmers than you actually did.
Right. Because it's true, you couldn't see. Oh no, I backed away again before killing this guy. He's got 33 HP. Oh. They call him Novice, but I think I'm the Novice, right? DOK puns aside. I do have my second PC on the way now, and Interceptor Fab is coming, so I have netted myself, I guess you would say, with a tech advantage. But we saw in the early games that we cast with you on the shallows, it seemed as though Air was a little bit inconsistent in clearing out railguns. In fact, yeah, what are your thoughts on this? Are railguns just too strong right now, like assault rails in particular?
Well, maybe on some, it's map dependent, I'd say.
Yeah. Like on a map like this, maybe yes, but bit of miss micro there, by the way. I lost one skim that I didn't need to, but definitely punished you a bit for the dive. It is nice to have an artifact from time to time. But yeah, like on a map like, I mean, certainly like the vanilla Torrent Crater, right? I would say rails are not exactly overpowered on that map. So maybe it just depends on the map. Upgrades coming out immediately for me as well, but I do have interceptors on the queue here, so I'm not going to be able to just like constantly pump out interceptors and assault ships, but I'll have a fair number of them. And I think your plan here is actually to fight them with the skims, but I don't think it will be... I don't think it will trade efficiently. I'll open the units lost tab here just so that we can see. You do have armor too, but I think that just those assault ships are just going to trade too efficiently to really punish them with skims.
Well, skims just need to meet ship kills.
That's true. For like the railguns to get the DPS up.
Yeah.
Damage 1 on the way for you as well, so you're definitely investing quite heavy into these skim upgrades here. Interceptor's launching as well, and I'm trying to hide them here. But my air micro is so bad, man. Like, every time it's on display, I always just cringe a little bit. Because, like, I should be able to get, like, 2 salvagers for sure here, but I'm gonna probably dump missiles on something on accident, you know? It's horrible. Here comes the fight, though, with the assault ships. Charging on into the skims here. Really good target, like, fire disruption there, as you make one of them change target and, like, hit the skim that it doesn't actually manage to kill. And yeah, I didn't get any salvagers, but I still managed to lose one interceptor. It's a little bit messy. I see there's a blast drone here too, right? So you've got to kind of worry about that blast drone if you're me. It could come in and get some value, hitting those assault ships. This is probably bad, though. This is probably bad trading, because we're under the carrier for sure now. So, 1 assault ship left. And yeah, I'm looking at the units lost tab here.
3 assault ships and 5 skimmers that I killed?
Yeah. I'm looking at the units lost tab here. You definitely came out ahead on that trade. And that's going to kind of open the window, perhaps, for these assault railguns to do their thing, as they would love to. There is air, though, so we pick one of them off. Here comes the blast drone, though. I was talking about this. Really good hit right there. Managed to finish off the kill on 2 of those assault ships. Maybe could have gotten more damage on this 3rd one here, but it's probably good enough. And I think the units lost tab is starting to go a little bit more in my favor now, because we're just losing railguns to air, but it still is on your side. Oh, and let's also point out these artifacts obviously are big, because that's going to bring the scoreline to 3-1. And obviously, that's being facilitated by this map pressure. Oh, bombers, wow. I forgot about that. Yeah, so I actually teched bomber fab here, and I've already built one of them as well. You meanwhile haven't teched to KSC yet, but... Oh, I can't remember if you get that in this game, actually. But Power 2 is on the way for you. Just railguns, and you have missile ships, obviously, because you don't want to just die to air. I realized after I launched this bomber, it was maybe a bit of a mistake to reveal him like that. I also fired a shot at that heavy rail, but I think that was worth it. Oh, he didn't drop that bomb, did you see? The bomber he didn't drop a bomb there. Oh, I lost another interceptor for nothing, but at this point, I was actually feeling pretty good. But I knew that the carrier power was going to be a problem, because I knew that you were going to push on me before too long. Railfab just now starting for me. That could have been probably about 15 seconds earlier, actually. Missile ship is in the hood as well here, so I probably need to clear out with this air. I mean, those interceptors are dead for sure already. But the bomber can escape.
No, I just ended up floating way too much here.
Oh yeah, are you floating? Here, let me check your resources tab.
No, I mean, I get power 3 here, but I'm not powered up right now.
Oh, you're not powered up yet? Oh dear, yeah.
I get stuck here. Otherwise, I would have come back the other way.
Okay, yeah. That is something that happens on the shallows. Like, that little ridge will stick carriers. It's very annoying. There was actually this one match.
I have to leave this other way. We'll
yeah, right?
Fire from the aircraft.
Because I think you could actually get out if you move, like, toward my second base and then, like, circle around it. But it's just,
yeah,
it's
but that would be
very...
even more exposed.
Yeah, and it's very inconsistent, right? Because, like, sometimes you'll get stuck and sometimes you won't. There was this classic match between my brother, Tarn Armor. He used to play this game in tournament as well. He was playing against Tren, and he was Soban, and I think Tren was Conef. And he's gonna win the game on timer, like, the timeout is gonna favor him and he'll win. There's, like, 10 seconds left, but then his carry gets stuck in the crack. And, like, Tren has way overwhelming armory, so he's, like, about to kill him, and then, like, the timer runs out and he barely wins. It was just like, what's happening? I'll never forget that one. Power 4 on the way for you now, I see.
Yep.
The bombers are obviously taking fire by that missile ship, but, like, this is the power of bombers. They really don't care, right? So they're able to kill that railgun anyway. This run by of Skims, though, I didn't expect it to actually get this much damage done, but I really carrier blocked myself, I think. And so this is really nice. You managed to clear, I think, like 3 heavy rails. And what really is impactful about that is that it allows that carrier to move forward, which clearly has more power than me. So if I can't stop this, I might lose, especially because we're at 4 artifacts now. This heavy rail, though, you didn't go for it with the Skims, and I think this was probably a big mistake. Let's also never fail to mention, of course, the artifact score is at 4-1, so 1 more and you win. It looks like I killed one of your base runners. I honestly can't remember how that happened, but you still have 1 up. And then here's where it starts getting really crazy. Railguns are obviously slamming in onto your carrier. You've got railguns too, though, but my bombers, I'm pretty confident, can clear them out. I have a base runner being built in the carrier right now, which can use its heal. I've got power 2 on the way,
Yeah,
but I realized...
If I just stayed in there, I think I would have won.
Yeah, see, I realized, like, I might die here. I'm, like, running away. I'm down to 200 HP.
200 HP? What?
Yeah, and then the carrier, like, the base runner heal gets me back up to, like, 600, but... It looks like there wasn't a missile flying at me anyway,
No,
so...
There wasn't a missile primed. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you're totally right. If you had stuck in, you would have won right there. Oh, that's crazy, man. And then I realized actually only at this point that your carrier was that low. I was like, wait, I can kill him. I don't know if the rails were actually going to get this, but the bomber will definitely secure it. Yeah, it is the bomber that gets the kill. Upgrades that guy to send... Oh, dude, that's Paul Rusky. Anyway. And, yeah, game 1 goes to me. Or, sorry, game 3 goes to me, but it definitely could have been yours, I think, if you just stuck in there for, like, a couple seconds longer.
Yeah.
Hard to say, though.
Really not.
I mean, not hard to say. We're the casters. We know you would have won, but, like, hard to say in the moment, right? It's like a judgment call you've got to make, and... Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to go down to 200 HP.
Yeah, I mean, 200 is pretty crazy. I've gone lower. There's a clip on my Twitch where I literally went down to 1 HP against Strike and then won the game. But that was pretty close. I think that's for sure. That's definitely to be said. If you thought that was close, though, no spoilers here, but game 4 is even closer. I'm gonna load this one up now. Tell me when you get to 29:55. I think I'll be faster. Okay, I'm at 29:55.
Ready now.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome everyone to the exciting game 4 of this series then. We're doing the exact same thing, look at that. You can see it in the production tab there. But yeah, this is going to be on Kalash Teeth, which I believe was your pick. And I'm not going to lie, I was really nervous for this one, because I don't know what it is, but I have some mental block with Kalash Teeth. I always lose on this map. I don't know what it is. Like, maybe I just don't get how to play the artillery war. Looks like I'm gonna go for a rail rush here. I think that makes sense because it's the build I'm most comfortable with, and it's obviously, like I said, a map I'm a little bit uncomfortable with. But tell me, what was your build here? Probably assault ships, right?
I think it was assault ships. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, not going for assault ships at the fastest timing possible, instead prioritizing the skimmer advantage. And we have seen that, obviously play into your hands many, many times already. So I don't think it's possible really to criticize that. Assault ship tech on the way now for you. And you got a base runner here, though. You did not retire this. This is the one, like, this is the thing that really interests me. It's not common to see people go for plays like this where they keep a base runner to keep artifact pressure up, but I love seeing it when you do, because if it works, it just, like, totally smashes your opponent. So I think that's a good try when you're on match point. Also a bit awkward here. This, PCs passing by each other without any vision, right? So we don't know about the rush that each other are doing here. And I was definitely a bit torn when I saw your skims here. I was like, I mean, do I go for like the kill on you, or like do I come back and like defend? I wasn't really sure. Salvagers here, by the way. LDM's gonna get a little harped on. Speaking of harping on LDMs, we had that long discussion about whether or not they're efficient or not, or like worth it. But we can definitely agree, I think, they're not worth it when they're dead. We only got one drop-off right there, so that's a big CU sink for me. And it doesn't really seem to have paid off, so you're definitely getting the damage done that you wanted, and I'm going to choose to come back. I don't stay out there in the field. You do have a soul chip tech, by the way. But if I knew that I had tech before you, maybe I could have stayed. I just don't know, though. And then I was telling my stream chat in the game, I thought you kind of overstayed here. But I don't know, you can tell me your thoughts on that, because you did secure the kill on the LDM miner, but I'm not sure if he was ever going to be able to get back to work. But what do you think about that?
Yeah.
Because obviously
carrier blocks, so you know, I was thinking I'd hit it quickly and then get away. That didn't work.
And then I love that you actually went out the other side, because like you could survive that way, but then obviously Skims came in and got you. And yeah, I mean, I guess I just don't think that was really worth it. But it's hard to say. Actually, I'm going for ref mode though, look at this. So I think my thought there was that, like, because you have... Oh, and you got the artifact, which is really good for you, of course. Because you have, because you have the assault chips, I'm not going to be able to push through the choke very easily. And in fact, I was worried at this moment here that I had maybe, like, thrown the game. Because if that assault rail dies, I probably lose, but he is going to get away. I was thinking, like, well, what I really need to do is get my carrier involved by getting ref mode and then moving out. Because I didn't feel like those assault railguns were ever going to push on the assault chips. Carrier getting a bit mobilized here as well. Probably wants power in range. Although I will say, the carrier block is maybe the most impactful thing that it does if the assault chips ever do decide to all in. But they shouldn't, right? The assault chips just want to sit here and get pressure, and you want to get onto a second base before I do, essentially. Second artifact picked up, and that one you will definitely get out as well. This here, though, this is maybe a bit of an overcommit, right? In fact, you may lose that assault ship anyway. Oh, barely gets that with 88 HP. Look at that. Nicely done. So I see you have a second PC on the way. Actually, before ref mode. Is that, like, more efficient to go for the second PC before ref mode? Or were you actually planning on coming in for another attack?
It's safer.
I guess that's fair. Oh yeah, that's true. You don't know. I could actually have a second PC pop out right now, and then maybe I'm actually pressuring you, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's always worth watching. Assault chips here again want to make a bit of a commit, but...
Firefighter mode started now, so...
Oh yeah, I did. Oh yeah, with only 30 seconds left, actually. And because of the way that, like, I actually am still committed to fighting off your army here, like, you're not falling very far behind in eco at all. I'm going to be on 2 base faster, but you're probably actually going to be on 3 base before I am. Oh, and then this moment here. So I saw you on the scanner moving. And that scanner, of course, very good. I deploy it from the base run at the start. I realized, though, this is actually my chance to get around the choke, but I didn't take it, so I should have maybe moved the assault railguns into mid right now. And then attacked you from behind. But I kind of realized, like, at this point, like, this is just another choke point. Like, he has the same advantage here. And I've got to say, this was, like, very, very smart from you. Somehow it just, like, it struck me during the game. You didn't go for that third artifact, which is, like, where we're fighting over. Instead, you just kind of pocketed the base runner here at that first one that you got. And you'll just pick it up again, right? Which means that that base runner has almost no chance of being killed. I feel like most players wouldn't have done that. That was a very smart call. Assault ships hitting the assault rails now. They're going to get a kill on one of them, but they should probably get chased out of here. And then finally having a modicum of field control, I'm going to try to push out across the map now. I do also have missile ship fab done, because I knew that air was a possibility, but I just had to be, you know, a little bit careful about it. But you can see I'm still moving out across the field without anti-air just yet, because I felt pretty confident it wasn't there in the moment. You are on 3 base faster though, at least in CUs. So I'd say the eco advantage goes to you here. Missile ship being produced, of course. Obviously, we don't know if there's air tech, but how could we? So, I mean, making this blind is not really a bad play, I would say. And the assault ships here do get cleaned up in the end. But there's that third artifact pickup, like I said, and it's like, what can I do about this? My whole army was here to deal with the, assault ships, right? And I'm actually pathing over to that side of the map for now, but like I realized eventually, that's stupid, I'm not going to get anything done there. So instead I go to see if I can try and pressure your third base. I'm a bit open to flanks right now though, but it doesn't look like there's anything there to punish. No floats from either side, so we've basically got everything on the table here. I think one thing that's definitely worth noting too is that because you had that second PC so much faster, and then you got up to 3 base before me, right? You obviously, you have a lot more production capability, right? So even if I had more money than you, which I think at one point I did, I can't really use it, right? It did, I mean, it got me, you know, missile ship fab fast. It's getting me dart maneuver now. But until just now, when this PC pops, I couldn't really be producing off of, you know, all of my money that I have, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh dear, I might die to skims here too. Typical MarchWaden style, you do have armor upgrades as well, so these assault rails will kill the skims, but not as fast as I'd like. I'm gonna pop base runner heal here. Skims are coming back. But this heavy rail is already forfeit. And that's a... maybe that's not the right call, because it is the expensive unit, but it's not one that's gonna fight back against you. I whiffed my barrage, though, on the missile ship. And so this is all of the assault railguns going down as well. Just, you know, just leave it to Bozo to get all of his units killed, right? It's pretty classic. And actually, in such a critical time, too, because your carrier is not unlocked here, right? So you're kind of pushing out here almost a little bit desperately is what it looks like. Like, you really want to get field control away from me. But that base runner is going to get this artifact for you, and that's going to be the 4th one. And if my army hadn't died there, I probably could have held that off. So this is, like, actually really good for you. You can always count on a good old Bozo throw to get you back in the game, right? Skims probably overcommitting here, though. They can't win this trade. Not with the assault rail in the hood. Oh yeah, and then this happens too. I'm trying to carrier block this base runner, but I missed it, so... yeah, this base runner is definitely going to extract now. There's not really anything I can do about that. Oh, and the smoke being popped as well. That's obviously pretty nice. It's not even really going to be close. So that's 4 artifacts. So for the rest of the game, basically, what that means, I have to own the field. I have to hold everything here, because if he gets an artifact out, I lose, right? No PC, though, on your second, so you're definitely losing money, you're definitely losing production here.
Yeah, PC is about to pop out of the carrier now.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that, but it's still a long time to be on 2.5 base, I guess we could say. You have Siege Cruiser Tech coming out. Now, that's obviously a pretty good call here. I'm going to use this moment, though, to try and get my Sandskimmer upgrades up. You definitely have the lead on me there. I think that's pretty safe to say. But I'm going to start getting the numbers advantage, because obviously, you know, those skims, they can't really... Oh yeah, and this was a really big moment here, too, because you come across the choke. I was chasing that assault ship, so you thought there was maybe a window. But then I came in here with skims of my own, and I think you maybe... no, you are backing away, so you saw you couldn't take that fight. I was thinking that, like, all of the skins died there or something, but as you can see, that didn't happen. Damage 2 on the way for me now. But I still have a large numbers advantage in that regard. Oh, and this was so annoying when you just start, like, using cruise missiles on my second base. Oh. Kind of good faction. Especially on College Teeth. Actually, I was talking about the pick ban earlier. Do you reckon I should have banned this map? Because looking at it now, against Conf, this is really a strong map for you.
Maybe?
Like, Tor and Alt wouldn't have been this bad, right? Because obviously this is a very dominant position you find yourself in right now. By the way, where am I going? Yeah, at the moment, right? I don't have Barrage on the Missile Ship here, but the Skims want to trade in. Only there's just like, I have the numbers here, so even though you've got the...
And just look at that idle base runner, for whatever reason.
Yeah. Like, pick it up, go! Go! But I do that all the time myself, so I can't blame. You have the upgrade advantage just by 1, but I had the numbers here, so I'm gonna actually win this Sandskimmer trade. And then you commit the carrier in here, but I have actually quite a few heavy rails. Kind of Siege Fab is done as well, so the first one's on the way here. But it was a bit of a float, I think. Okay, Artifact finally just now picked up. And that's obviously the game-winning Artifact, but now we find ourselves in a weird position because the game-winning play for me is to kill your carrier, right? And the question is, like, which one is going to happen first? But, like, being on 4 Artifacts, you really didn't have to push in here at all.
Yeah, it was just a throw.
It was a Bozo throw. You're just following after my footsteps. But guys, you're not gonna believe how close this is. Look at the health on the carrier. Look at the distance to the extraction zone on the base runner. Last railgun is dead. Carrier dies, and look, the base runner is there.
Fire from the Knapp station cruiser.
Wait, what? You did! I didn't even notice that. Oh my gosh. The narrowest of margins, man. I mean, that is actually as close as it's ever come. And it
extracts in the background after I hear the...
Actually, that was mine extracted in the background, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your base runner, when your carrier dies, it'll instantly blow up, right? So... Narrowest of margins. I mean, that's almost unbelievable, right? Craziest thing.
I almost won after my carrier was destroyed by having the artifact extracted.
Yeah, right? I mean, because actually, by the way, people might not know this, but if you extract an artifact at the same time that your carrier dies, the carrier has to blow up, like it has an animation, and so you will actually win on artifact extraction. So, if that had gotten into the zone, he definitely would have won the game there. I mean, that was that close. I'm still amazed by that. What a freaking thing, you know? Let's load up Game 5, shall we? But that one's gotta leave a sour taste in the mouth. And not to be rude, I mean, it was actually you playing, but...
Yeah. I mean, this is my punishment. Public humiliation. Alright, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm actually still loading it in. So I'll tell you when I get there, and then we'll unpause. But this series, which... I mean, really, it looked like you were just gonna smash me in the beginning, because you got the first 2 games... I'd say in pretty dominant fashion. I missed the pause button. I'm at 53 right now, but...
Okay.
So you give me the countdown.
Ready now.
Okay,
3, 2, 1, go.
Alright. But yeah, this series that I really feel like you were dominating the first 2 games, it's all of a sudden made its way to the ace match, but... I have to ask, is that really my fault? I capitalized on the mistakes anyway, but... I don't know. It seemed like you sort of gave me those.
I just, like... I don't know.
It happens, man. Hey, as the guy who is actually known in the community for throwing, I can definitely have some mitleid with you. Some compassion. This game, though, I had an interesting idea. I'd love to see, like, if you figured out what it was. I call this the Ninja PC.
That won you the game. Right
yeah,
there.
Definitely. Obviously, my idea here, right, is that on Tight End Passage, which I picked for the ace match because I have this kind of strategy up my sleeve, I guess, what you can do, because there's so much air behind the carrier, like, look at how much space there is behind your carrier, right, that I can, like, come down in. And so if my opponent thinks I'm going ref mode first, he often doesn't have enough defense to where he can actually stop me from killing him with, like, a rail rush that comes from behind, right? He'll be going eco as well or something like that, and then all of a sudden I show up behind him and just kill him. But it also has the advantage that, even right now, you probably assume this is ref mode first, right? Just because of
I
the...
saw an opportunity to do damage before you could get your sand skimmers to protect the base runner.
Yeah. Although, I mean, that's the thing, you didn't know if I had them or not, right? So I was hoping you'd think it was like a ref mode first play. And then also the base runner moving out this direction is where it would go if it wanted to just like waste your time, but all of a sudden there's skims here. So the ninja PC strikes, and I do get the first kills, which means I have the skim advantage. Now, as you know, this is what I call the meat grinder scenario, right? Your skims have to pop out under fire now. If I can keep the meat grinder up long enough before your second PC is out that I can actually kill the PC, I definitely win the game, right? So to me, I was like, oh my gosh, this is happening. And you see, I spent some time shooting that base runner, like, that was a really stupid move. I just want to go back here and kill that that PC. And then this one sand skimmer that was injured, he can hunt down the base runner instead. And so I was like shaking, man. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, are we gonna win by like a meat grinder, you know? I was so hyped. This PC is starting to get low now. It's at about half. The second one is out though, right? And obviously both of these are, you know, double pumping skims here, so you are gonna have skimmers that I have to fight. Otherwise, maybe I lose the skimmer majority, and then even killing one PC, you just come and kill mine too. That's no good. And so right here I decided, like, man, victory is like that close, but I really can't risk it. If I have the calculation wrong, I'll lose the game. So at this point I chose to back away. Still though, I have the skimmer advantage, so I want to actually keep fighting to keep down your numbers, but what I really want is to get an assault rail and then pop up to 2 PC as fast as I can, because obviously we've seen how the skimmer majority flips when one player has 2 PC and one player doesn't. Oh yeah, first artifact extracts as well, and that's pretty nice for me. This base runner here is also ready to do the base runner heal ability, but the thing is, if it ever uses it, it's kind of going to die, right? But I figured, you know, you're gonna have field control for so long that I don't think it really matters. I think that, like, letting you take that base runner is not the worst thing in the world. And right now, the numbers are even. So you've broken even and you're going to start getting ahead of me. I have armor 1 first, but yours is just about to finish. So yeah, from now on, MarchWaden should have the skimmer majority. 2 assault rails here to try and hold this off. Base runner uses its heal ability, so I think that this is a good trade for me. But looking at it now, you do actually have some high ground, you obviously have more numbers, so I take quite a few losses there. I was hoping base runner heal would come in clutch, but it didn't do all that much. Armor 2 finishes for me now. Actually, before you as well. But I guess that makes sense, doesn't it? Because obviously, you have the double production, so I'm gonna float a bit more money than you. But yeah, the skims just can't quite manage to get this hill, so the assault rail's doing pretty well. And we should definitely mention, like, if there was ever a rail map in the game, this has got to be it. I mean, look at this map, right? There's a couple hills, but mostly they're all, like, dunes, but mostly they're all rolling hills, right? This is exactly where railguns want to be. I was really nervous here, though. Because seeing all those blue pluses, you're just like, I'm gonna die. At this point, I'd say still very much anyone's game, right? But the tech advantage definitely lies with me. And then second PC about to finish. Yeah, I don't know, like, should you have gone for Railgun Fab instead? Because I kind of feel like that's what's missing from this game. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I should have. Had the RUs.
Oh, definitely. Because, I mean, you're only building skims here, so obviously you find yourself floating. You have rating now, but I still have the upgrade advantage because of armor. Oh, this is kind of a bad fight for me, though.
I can get on top of the skims. Sorry, the assault rails.
Indeed. No, it's very important when you're in your position. And this is exactly the trade you want to take, because I let you have that high ground there, and I kind of realized after I did this, like, oh shoot, but... Now we're under the carrier, but you've already kind of melted all the skims here. But I think this is an overcommit.
I should have gone for the assault rails.
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I kind of feel like you got the kills and then you could just actually back away. But I guess it's fair to say, like, if you back away, what are you backing away for? You don't have rail tech, so. You do catch him though, so all the assault rails are dead right now. They actually had dart maneuver, which I used there, but didn't do a whole lot for me.
I even have a damaged one now, but
yeah, I don't even have ratings. So I mean, I'm probably
lose this though.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. I think because the carrier joins in.
I spread out my fire too much, I think. And yeah, I chased you too much.
Because at the start of that fight, you have high ground, so you're definitely winning there. I think the target fire.
God, look at this. There are like 4 of them almost dead.
Yeah, the target fire unfortunately isn't quite there.
And then I chased for that.
But now that we're under the carrier, I was kind of conflicted here because I know that I'm winning if I'm under the carrier, but I'm also losing eco. It's like, how long can I keep the carrier in here? But I thought a little bit longer. If I can kill off these sand skimmers, then the PCs are forfeit, and that would be really good for me. I mean, that would really be a game, right? There's not really any way for you to come back from there. But I'm out of money now, so I can't produce any more skims.
If I just focus fired better.
I know, I can like feel the pain in your voice. I totally think this one was your game too. The ninja PC was pretty cool, but like I still would have lost the fight, I think. Still no rating for me. Like I said, I'm probably never gonna get rating either. But now I don't really need it. I'm on the hill like behind you now. So you can't go backwards because I'm gonna catch you with the carrier. So I can trade for free, push you back into that angle. So yeah, you have to go for this all in.
I engaged to the high ground again. Yeah, and then it's just over.
Yeah, but you kind of have to. I mean, there's not really any other way that you can go, right? Because if you just back up, I'm just gonna trade for free with that assault rail, and then I'll have the skimmer advantage by a large margin. Kind of we call it Zugzwang in chess, you know, like Desperado, right? And then focusing down this one PC, obviously, I could kill the skim too. I mean, anything's really justifiable here. This is probably unlosable, I would say, unless I really just chose to like let him win. I could quick quit, but I didn't do that in this game. Sand skimmer rating does start teching for me, but it's kind of academic at this point, and I think at this point you called the GG. Second PC will go down as well, and there it is. So in the end of at the end of the day, it's a 3-2 for me. It's actually a reverse sweep. We almost never see that in games, but there it was. It's kind of tragic, actually, because like I almost wanted to lose because I wanted to see you and A-Game fight in the finals. But at the same time, you know, I couldn't feel good throwing. Well, I throw all the time, but you know, not on purpose. But that was really just kind of a crazy series. Unfortunate though that like you definitely had game 2 and definitely game 3 and definitely game 4, but unfortunately just made some mistakes and I guess it got taken away. Tell me about
It do be that way.
Sorry, say that again.
It do be that way.
Yeah, it do be that way. They say it don't be like it is, but it do. Tell me what you think about the GVG meta though. Like, if you had to instruct a new player in playing GVG, like what would you tell him to do? Based on what you saw here.
2 PC sand skimmers.
Like, without tech, right? Unless you need it. But see, that's so weird to me, because, like, I always thought tech was necessary, but... You really showed me in this series, I think, that, like, it's not quite as I thought. Still, I've got to say, though, GVG has got to be my favorite matchup, because I feel like it has the most potential for outplay, you know what I mean? And how that tends to happen is we actually outplay ourselves, but you know what I mean? Like you can really outplay opponents in GVGs, just in a way that I feel like GVC is never quite the same. I don't know.
It's definitely more interesting.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the games, MarchWaden. Thanks for the co-cast. That's all the replays we've got today.
Yeah,
so
thanks for helping me in here.
Yeah, no problem. Hope to have you back soon. Although maybe we can get Discard to co-cast some of these as well. That'd be pretty sick. But, yeah. Thanks for joining me, I guess. for all of you watching, that's it.